Welcome along to another episode of My Mate Bought a Toaster. My guest today is the brilliant comedian John Kearns. Hello, John.
Hello, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You are very welcome. This is actually, I've wanted you to come on the show for a while, but one of my listeners emailed me.
Email?
And said, you must get John Kearns. I mean, it was you, to be fair. But all joking aside, someone emailed me.
I didn't use an alias?
Yeah, it might have been an alias. conjourns@gmail.com.
Yeah, I try. I do try.
And I thought, God, my listeners have started to book the show.
Well, obviously, I'm not saying yes to everything.
No, I know. Yeah.
And
I had to set up several fake podcasts for you to say no to.
Yeah.
So you could come across as Yeah,
shock and awe. But I don't know, maybe, and this is a compliment by the way,
I'll take it.
my stand-up,
Yeah.
my influences, what I like. I like the everyday, I like the domestic, I like the mundanity of life.
Oh,
The stuff that just ticks along.
yeah.
I mean, maybe in the moment I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it, of course there are times where you like, for example, I still like going to a shop.
Mm-hmm.
I like going to a big supermarket,
Yeah.
getting it done.
The big shop in the flesh.
Yeah, in the flesh.
I took my kids there to a proper supermarket shop because we do all our shopping online, and they couldn't believe it.
Well, they can't believe that it's there.
They're like, is this the Amazon warehouse? No, it's Sainsbury's. They can't.
Have they been to one of the what would you call them? Like the supermarket.
Like a hypermarket.
Yeah.
Hypermarché.
Yeah.
No, we'll treat them. That's their holiday this August.
You know when like they're walking to a Sainsbury's, but there's clothes.
Yeah.
And they're going, what the hell is this? I kind of sometimes go, I live near there, near one of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point is my partner would more than happy love to do the online shop.
Yeah.
I refuse.
Because you want to, not from any sort of philosophical,
like
companies
the rhythm
paying
of
tax
it.
reasons. The rhythm of it. I like I like where my brain goes when I'm doing a big shop.
Also, the quality of the meat.
Yeah, mate. Cheap. Also, I love a bit of cheap meat. I do love cheap meat.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I love cheap meat. Doesn't do you any harm in the short term. In the long term, it absolutely does. All right, here's what we're going to do. I've got your Amazon account here open on my tablet.
Okay.
And I'm back in the first ever purchase you made.
Wow.
Okay, so let us...
So you've obviously, you know how to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty complex.
Right.
Yeah, it's drop down.
My God.
Yeah.
The first I ever made?
Yeah, I mean, do you care to guess? It's pretty...
I'd love to know what the date of it was.
Well, you went big. 10th of September 2011.
Wow.
You bought two things in one day. You bought, technically the first thing you ever bought,
All right.
an HDMI to HDMI gold-plated connector. You went to Amazon. You found gold at the bottom of the rainbow. Yeah?
Right.
HDMI, good times. You also bought the Sony KDL32CX520BU 32-inch widescreen full HD 1080p telly. Internet-ready telly.
Yeah.
So there you are. That's a man buying a telly. For me, that is a man buying a telly.
That's a man buying a telly.
First
and
telly?
Then I'm still living at my parents'.
Okay.
And I think it is my first telly.
First telly?
Yeah, it's in my room.
Okay.
And what I'm laughing about is the fact that I'm buying the HDMI cable when the issue is, without doubt, the aerial.
Right.
And that is always, to this day, I do not know. Every single house I've lived in about 4 houses in the past 6 years.
Yeah.
I've never been able to get all the channels.
Okay. When you do that Freeview scan,
Yeah.
that is like my version of roulette.
Well,
The buzz I get when I get all, because usually ITV2 for some reason has an irrationally high strength broadcast where I am.
Really? Oh, you can get it?
ITV, yeah. I don't want it. Do you want it? Because you can have it.
I don't want it.
Right. ITV3, absolutely nothing. And that's where I want to go and watch my murders in the afternoon.
Well, I fancy ITV3.
Right. I can't get that either. It's when you do that Freeview scan, it is so stressful, especially if you spend all this money on a telly.
Yes.
It's like getting a car with no wheels.
But when you lose channels,
Oh, they irrationally disappear.
I'm going, what the hell's happening here? I don't believe the channel Dave exists. I've never had that.
Right.
So anyway,
You've done Taskmaster. You're going to benefit from it. Trust me. You'll be there. You may not be able to see it, but you'll be there.
Do you know, I scroll. I never click on these things, but I don't know. Moment of weakness. Someone online. What are your controversial Taskmaster opinions?
Okay. Oh, don't go into that.
And I don't know. I just thought. I don't know why I scrolled. Well, I scrolled because I was like, there was a. Why was I coming up?
Mm-hmm.
I came up.
As a...
Someone went, nothing personal, but this guy was the weakest in the series, and his shtick just seemed to be just did everything slow.
Nice.
36 likes. I'm out of there.
Did you make it 37?
I felt like it. Passive aggressive. But when he went nothing personal, I was like, you know what, I'll take that.
No, you can't say nothing personal, but that person's... You literally...
Crap.
You should say, this is personal.
Yeah.
I don't like this person.
Yeah.
This person, it's the definition of personal.
Get personal.
Listen, I work on the radio.
Retweet.
I work on the radio. I got a text about 3 months ago from a guy called Rich in Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Very methodically pulling apart me. But in the context of all the other presenters on the station. I love him in the morning. She's brilliant in the morning. All the names, what time they're on. But Tom Price, I cannot bear him with his silly voice. Grow up and go home. That's what he said. I haven't been told to grow up and go home since I flashed my bum at a roller skating party at Monmouth Leisure Centre in 1987. Grow up and go home.
So you've been about 4 months doing the new since October.
And every day I think of Rich and Chelmsford. That's the problem.
Yeah, these people get in your head.
They do.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about it now.
Yeah.
And I should have scrolled.
We should be making some idle badinage about a telly.
Anyway, I think so. I think I bought the HDMI cable for a PS3.
Okay.
Which I bought for the Bluetooth. The Bluetooth, the Blu-ray, the Bluetooth. That's an expensive way of listening to music.
High-end Bluetooth. Look at that blue light flashing slowly. Oh,
400 quid.
amazing.
Yeah. No, wow. 2011. Buying a telly.
So still living with your parents.
I'm still at home at that point.
How old are you at this stage?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved out when I was just about to turn 26.
Right, okay.
I had a full-time job.
Doing?
I worked at the House of Parliament.
Okay.
As a tour guide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, education person.
Right.
Visitor assistant. You know, if you're visiting, you'll meet me.
Oh, wow.
I annoy the hell out of you because I'm obviously not the person you want to be meeting. But I'll tell you where to meet them, etc.
Did you have how was your patter for the tour? Any top gags that you'd regularly do?
Do you know what? It's quite odd. I lived a dual life, but I was gigging in the evenings and did that during the day. I was quite dry.
Yep.
Take around school kids. I had mates that would be like, "This is where Harry Potter was invented." All that crap.
Just making stuff up.
Yeah. I was. I don't know. I took it quite seriously. If someone working with me at the time heard that, they'd probably be like, "Well, you didn't." But so I was living at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my parents, when I was doing comedy, they were like, and rightly, they were like, "Well, you got to have a job."
Right. Yeah.
So I just had a full-time job, but in London, living at home.
Right.
And then I made the leap purely because it was just all getting a bit much, really.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is. So how long was a tour around the Houses of Parliament? How long was the average sort of...
Oh, it was a full-time job. So
but how long would it take to take the annoying kids around the Houses of Parliament?
Hour and 15.
Oof, look at that. You know that straight away.
The issue...
I was thinking we'd get like, I don't know, hour and 15.
No, hour and 15.
75 minutes.
The issue, though...
Toilets.
Oh, no. Toilets are fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Because you could stretch it out.
That is true.
Honestly.
Yes. Hiding in the toilets.
Nothing worse than turning up to a tour group. Right, toilet time. And they all go, "No, we've been." And you're like, no. That's 10 minutes gone.
Oh, no.
And then also, you're picturing the House of Commons, you're picturing the House of Lords.
That's right.
These are obviously chambers of work. People are working in them.
Well, yes.
So there were times, Thursday mornings, you had to take a school group on a tour of the House of Parliament,
Yeah.
and they could not go into the House of Lords.
Oh, God.
They could not go into the House of Commons.
Oh, no.
Teachers weren't told this.
Oh, God.
You still have to fill your time.
Oh, what?
You know where the newsreader stands? The central lobby.
Yeah.
An hour in there.
That's all it was.
I'm not joking.
It's like John Redwood walking past in the background. Just random. That's what I would do. I would just resort to going, he's a prick. She's an arsehole. I like him. That's all I would do.
It would help when a lot of people go in there, celebs. Even them local MP, now you'd probably see Prime Minister, you'd see Cameron, you'd see May wandering around.
Yeah.
I know people that still work there that just grab them and go, tell the kids what you do. And they have this fear where they go, I have to.
Got to do it, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because teachers, kids.
Oh, that's amazing. It's great having a kid for that reason. Do you know what I mean? If you're at a football match or something and, like you're near the dugout maybe, just get your kid up and say, look, get his dreams.
Well, I Alex Ferguson did that to me once.
I'm just going to get my tea for this story.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's
I'm
go.
at a Crystal Palace game. My uncle's a Crystal Palace fan, and he had player lounge access.
Wow. Good times.
This is I want to say 97.
Mm-hmm.
He says so there's a hubbub. It's Man United Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
There's a hubbub.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle goes, just go stand by the door.
Yeah.
Door swings open. Ferguson. He has to walk through the players' lounge to get to the coach.
Right.
And there's
after the game, this is?
Yeah. And there's obviously a full bar of people that probably want to shake his hand.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
He knows what to do. Grabs me by the shoulder. So he always grabs a kid to basically lead.
Yes.
Meaning no one can reach out to shake his hand or anything.
That's why players have mascots at the beginning of games. So they don't get bothered by the fans.
Oh, right, yeah. I was thinking.
Using the kid as a fan shield. Get off me, I've got a 4-year-old. Look, I'm being cute.
I was just thinking that they do shake hands just over the heads of the mascots.
Yeah. No, there's no logic to it. I didn't think that through. That happens a lot. That'll be a theme.
The list will prove that there's no logic to. But anyway, I remember. And then they all filed past me. Wow. Becks, gigs.
What?
Oh no! This
Photos?
Is what, 97?
Photos?
Nah, nothing.
Nothing to show for it. The only evidence we've got
only this podcast.
Wow.
Fergie though.
Fergie. I mean, who do you follow? Are you a fan of
Fulham?
Oh, okay. I've just got off for tickets to go see Liverpool Fulham tomorrow. Right. Anyway,
you going?
I'm bloody right. I'm going.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's a good get. That's
I can't wait. I'm not going. I refuse to get into a football tangent. I refuse because it's so easily done. It's so easily done. Okay, so you got yourself a telly. All those hours, taking kids to the toilets in the Houses of Parliament, you've earned yourself a telly. Things are beginning for John Kearns, right? Mum, Dad, I've got an Amazon account.
How much is the telly?
£336. Plus
That's quite a lot now.
And the wire was £1.31. So do the mathematics.
It's never the camera, it's the lens.
That's right. It's all about getting the telly so you can sit in your room and play PlayStation.
I just watched. What did I watch on that?
I mean,
this week mainly. Do you remember that program, Andrew Neil?
Yeah.
2011 as well.
Yeah.
Arab Spring.
In the evening.
Riots in Tottenham.
And you get Portillo and what's her name? Diane Abbott.
Great show.
I always found it weird watching it that they got on so well.
It's a fantastic show.
Should be enemies. It was a great show. Yeah.
I met Andrew Neil once.
Oh yeah.
And
how did he compare to Fergie? Was he your uncle there again? This is Andrew Neil, lad.
Go stand by the door.
Go stand by Andrew Neil.
I'm 36. Go stand by the door. And Andrew Neil holding my shoulders. Like Fergie, that makes sense. He's pointing down. Andrew Neil would have to. I'm not a tall man, but I'm a bit taller than Andrew Neil.
Yeah.
So he'd have to. He'd have to. His
a conga. It would be a conga. Essentially, you'd be asking Andrew. I wonder if Andrew Neil has ever done a conga.
Oh, I bet he has.
He will have, yeah.
He's a bit of a...
Andrew Neil.
He's a bit of a boy.
Yeah, so Andrew Neil, so you met him?
Oh, I had to host something. I had to introduce him, but what do you say to him?
Yeah.
I think I just said, I used to... Imagine I read out the exact number that you gave the model of the telly. I used to watch you on this telly. Sony X3.
Andrew? Oh, he's gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a huge fan of his. But I did like that show. It was great. But yeah. Anyway, look, we'll move on from Andrew Neil. I've said that so many times. 2011, right? John Kearns.
2011.
I mean, there's a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of music here.
Yeah.
We've got The War on Drugs. We've got St. Vincent. I love St. Vincent.
Yeah.
We have got a book called What is Madness by Darian Leader.
Yeah.
Let us into what's going on
it's,
there? Madness in our culture is defined by visibility. From the popular press to TV soaps and films, the depiction of madness always borders on the extreme, violent outbursts, fits, hallucinations.
Oh dear. I mean, yeah, the books are the worry on this because...
Good. Do point me at your weak spots as we go into your Amazon.
Oh, you'll find them, but like, just on a whim, I'll buy some. I know that book.
Yeah. Read it?
Of course I haven't read it.
No. They don't get read.
Okay, I'm probably... Do you know what what month, when have I bought that?
Oh, 2011?
Yeah,
I mean, why would you
month.
watch that? You've just got a PS4 set up in your...
No, I think I'm going...
October.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in love. Love makes you mad.
Is that right? Is that what's happened here?
October 2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm confused.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's what this show will do.
Sorry, no, not.
Scared and
I'm
confused.
talking about October 2011, not now. Very much aware of what's going on now. I think that book's gone to the charity shop.
Yeah. Charity shops, to be fair, people give Amazon a hard time for not paying their taxes, possibly reasonable. But they've done a wonder for the charity shop industry, haven't they? Because the amount of stuff you get on Amazon that goes straight into charity shops.
Yeah, that's true. I moved house about 6 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt quite good giving away some books. I thought if there's someone who's on it, they're gonna have an absolute field day in there.
I do think there's a certain swagger that I have when I go to a charity shop drop-off. Do you know what I mean? And you go in a bit like, this is good stuff. I'm a good person. I am well read. I wear good things.
Yeah.
But some of my babies have had to go in a bag, and here they are.
Yeah.
Whoever gets this stuff is going to be lucky. It's full of shit.
But also they're like untouched.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you're saying they're good books? Never read them.
But also, there's a chap in this particular charity shop who I think he might slice it off.
No.
What he wants.
I find that hard to believe. They must.
He was
be.
going through and he was like, oh, these are good. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to come in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think I probably didn't do tomorrow, but I think a week later, I noticed that there was someone else working in there. I thought, I wonder how much they're charging for all the books.
Mm.
And there was one put in a glass case.
Signed?
It was hardback, and I was like, what have I given them?
One of your books was put in a glass case. Oh my God, I'd lose my mind.
I was like, what?
Sorry, I'd instantly want it back. So I need to have that back.
Well, I
sorry.
didn't know why it was in there. And I was like, hang on a minute, I gave them that.
My friend had a book signed by Alex Higgins. One of his most precious things. He met him, Hurricane Higgins, off of snooker.
Yeah.
And he was walking past a charity shop right by our house, and he saw in the window, similar vibes, the same book. He was like, wow, God, that's identical. And he went and got it, opened it.
Signed?
To Justin from Alex Higgins. It was his book. His wife had given it to the charity shop without him knowing. And they made him buy it back. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? If you go into a charity shop and say, I gave you this, but I've got I've got giver's remorse.
Wow.
Oh.
So hang on,
It cost him like 10 quid. To get it back. All right, look. John, we're still very much stuck in 2011. It doesn't bode well for the rest of the episode. This is going to be a 9-hour episode.
I thought when I thought you're going through it, I was like, this could be a 24-hour live stream.
Yeah. Oh no, it is. We just haven't told you or your people about that yet. 48 orders in 2012. So it picks up there. That's a lot more than 2011. So things are kicking off now.
Yeah.
Still working at Parliament, or have you left?
2012. Yeah, no, I'm there. Yeah.
Lots of music. Tom Petty, Jeff Beck, Woody Allen, Stardust Memories, Viz, Letterbox, The Bulging Sack.
Great book that was a mate I used to live next to at uni had it. Yeah. It's the letters that get sent into Viz magazine.
Yeah.
And the chap I lived next to at uni, Tommy Gunn. God knows where he is.
I
did a radio show with him, right?
Right.
And he was you can tell from my music tastes there. I'm not into like drum
Women.
and bass. Oh God. Oh my lordy! This was St. Vincent earlier.
Oh yeah, St. Vincent. Sorry, that was. It's all right. Jeff Beck's got long hair. That's fine. Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, so we had to do a radio pilot,
Right.
and I said to him, he was into like club music and like I don't know, like dance and rave and I don't know.
Yeah.
But stuff which I wasn't into. I weren't buying it, but I was like, well, when you're out, that's the stuff I like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I went, do you want to do a radio pilot? Do you want to do a show? And he was like, yeah, great. And he said, how long is it? And I was like, yeah, I think we've got to do an hour or something. So anyway, looking back, mad that we didn't really talk about it, but we met up and he had, to the second, made a playlist of an hour music.
Oh wow.
And I was like, well, when am I going to talk?
There's no talking. There's no.
And he was
space.
like, what are you on about? We're there to play music, aren't we? So I was like, fuck it. So the show was me going, it's me and Tommy Gunn. And
Thanks for listening.
And then an hour of music. Right, we're back next week. He's DJing.
That's not far off Magic FM. That's kind of what I'm doing with the Drive Time Show on Magic FM. Well, it's great. You can make a lot of tea.
I love Magic FM.
Mate, so do I. It's the best place in the world. All right, good. So, John, 2012. There's Breaking Bad here as well.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, this is all added up.
This is making sense, isn't it? This is really making sense. Lamb Chop, The Men, both a band and your musical taste.
Yeah. The Men. Never listen to that.
Oh, really?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Very short album, I think. I think that album's only half an hour. So.
Right, okay. It's all sort of DVDs and
DVDs.
Real Food, Nigel Slater.
Oh, that's a good book. That.
Yeah.
That's the first. That's what I'd. Maybe I think I bought that for my brother going to university. It's the book I had going to university.
Yeah.
I think if you're listening to this and you're off to uni or you want a first cookbook, I'd recommend Real Food by Nigel Slater.
Oh, okay.
It's quite short.
Tick.
Yeah. It's a paperback.
Tick.
Also, it's like pocket size.
Okay. Oh, that's
which is
good.
odd for I'm thinking about it. It's quite odd for a cookbook.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like tiny.
But it's hard at uni because you don't have much space at uni. And you can't really, you don't really have like a cooking book table where you put those big books. That makes sense to make it a bit smaller. Hide it away next to your stuff.
Also, I mean, God knows, what did I make from it?
I mean, so when you're moving out from home,
yeah.
Did you actually use it? Because often what happens, you go to uni and you have the best intentions.
I had good intentions.
You have kebabs and you put on 3 or 4 stone a term. That's what I did.
Yeah, no,
because there's just too much temptation.
Yeah, I made a pasta bake once without the water.
Right, it's great.
Opening the oven, going, what's happened here? And it took me far too long to realise that there was no water in there. It's like, what the hell? Something must have happened.
Logically going to go through this.
Just sat there thinking about it.
In this sort of, in the inquiry afterwards.
Yeah.
What happened, Mr. Kearns? I put the pasta in
the
the oven.
I think, again, it's been a while since I read it, but I think Nigel Slater says, put water in your pasta.
Oh, that's the sort of information. I didn't know what seasoning was until someone like Nigel Slater explained salt and pepper. Didn't know that.
Well, actually, seasoning is quite important.
I know. But I never knew what it was or when you should do it.
Well, you're kind of told salt's bad. Like growing up, I think my mum put a fear of salt in me a little bit.
I think it was the sugar of the 90s.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people with high blood pressure in the 90s who were probably our age in the 90s, but they had high blood pressure because of, smoking and drinking since they were 10.
Yeah.
But they went, no, it's the salt.
And the salt. Yeah.
Salt.
My only TV appearance in, it had been, I think, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
In 2015.
Yeah, make it up. We won't check. Yeah.
Maybe 16.
Sure. No, like I say, we absolutely won't check.
Anyway, my brother texts me when you're on TV. And I'm like, I haven't been on TV for years. it's a woman on telly, like an old like nana, steaming some like veg. Anyway, and it's like the person interviewing her is like, "How do you do it?" She's old school, so she just gets a newspaper out, and then it is Nigel Slater. That's what I'm talking about. This it's a Nigel Slater program where he's learning old tricks.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's steaming something, and she goes, "Oh, I just use a newspaper." Gets an old newspaper from like the bin, opens it up, double spread, picture of me from like 2014.
That counts as a credit.
That was so I've been on a Nigel Slater cookie program.
Put that on your IMDb.
It's just me steaming mussels. I think it was mussels, that was it.
FYI, have you told that story in public before?
I don't know. Don't think so.
Because assuming you haven't, and that is an exclusive, so that goes on the press release. I guarantee you one of our listeners will go onto your Wikipedia.
Put it on.
He has also appeared in Nigel Slater's, and they'll find the episode.
I've got a picture. That could be maybe my... If you Google my name, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm not the first photo. Not that I should be, but I should be.
Yeah, you
for
should.
my name.
You should. Come on.
I'm being modest there. It should be because I'm number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carrying on.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a really. He looks a really nice, genuine, nice chap. He's a big guy with a beard.
What's he done? We're talking. John
He's no one.
Right. That's not fair. The problem I've got is there's a very, very promising cricketer called Tom Price.
Yeah.
Who I'm fully intending to hobble.
Yeah.
At the next opportunity.
Well, there was a Northern Ireland DJ called John Kearns, but I saw him off.
This is a twist on the Dave Gorman format. Finding other people with your name and murdering them.
Killing them off.
Yeah. I'm up for that. I'd watch that. All right. Elsewhere we've got loads of DVDs, Election,
DVD.
Matthew
This is
Broderick.
like stepping back in time. Buy music, DVDs.
Imagine
Good Lord.
physical objects. The Tin Pot Foreign General and the Old Iron Woman. What the?
What's that?
It's a paperback by Raymond Briggs.
Oh.
Raymond Briggs, who did things
Oh, is
like
it a Thatcher thing?
Father Christmas and stuff. Hang on. Don't know. I can't. It's not really...
Yeah. It's his...
covered the Falklands invasion in a vivid way by the inimitable Raymond Briggs.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Raymond Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went through a period of trying to buy everything he'd ever done. And this is actually... we think of Raymond Briggs as Father Christmas snowman guy.
Yes.
Which he is.
Yeah.
But he also did When the Wind Blows, which is a horrific retelling about an old couple in the middle of a nuclear holocaust.
Right, yeah.
And also that book there is based on his hatred for Thatcher and the Falklands.
Yes.
So he had this real political and satirical, attitude about him.
Yeah.
Which, then gets stuck into the guy that, so he did Fungus the Bogeyman. Mm-hmm. And then after that, that
was disgusting, Fungus the Bogeyman. I've read that with my kids. Gross. They loved it.
Well, it's disgusting. But then after that, he did the Snowman because he said he needed to step out of that grime almost.
Oh, I see. Cleansing his artistic palette.
Yeah.
How lovely.
And also, biographically, he actually went through, without getting too much into it, but
it's a podcast. Get into it.
Well,
lose yourself and the listeners.
His wife at the time suffered terribly from schizophrenia and died of it, and that's when he was doing Fungus.
Okay.
And the Snowman was almost like a stepping into a calm. I don't even want to say that word, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, and that leads me nicely onto half a question, because when you do your stand-up, right, you have a character, right?
Yeah.
Do you get any kind of therapy is the wrong word, but do you find a comfort in going on stage as a completely different person? And do you feel like it's a really nice thing to escape your real life and have that time on stage, or are you just too stressed out by the whole thing? How does it work?
Well, I'm not. I'm not being another person.
No.
I think what it does help, and where the escape comes in, is it's work, and it's like you're performing now, and it's like I imagine it's the same when you're in the radio studio and the red light comes on. It's just that thing, and it started me putting on this monk's wig, fake teeth, mucking about, just enjoying it.
Winning
and
some awards. Doing fine.
Did all right. Yeah, did okay.
Yeah.
But, like, it's funny, like, the fun, the silliness, the fuck it, let's see where this goes, then becomes something. So then that's interesting to navigate.
Yeah.
Then over the years, it's, why do you still do this? What does it mean? And there's all that going on.
Yeah.
Then the idea of character and persona.
Yeah.
When it started out so innocently.
Yeah. So you had to try and keep that innocence to it and maintain that first gig feeling.
Yeah.
Hard to do, almost impossible to do.
Hard to do, but also in the same way, because because it started so kind of organically.
Yeah. How did it start then? You just
I did a charity gig and everyone was given a Robin Williams film to kind of do 5 minutes on. It was a fundraiser, and I was given Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right.
So I had to put in these fake teeth like he does, and this silly wig. Anyway, I vividly remember it was probably around about, I want to say, 2011. Just how funny it felt being on stage.
Was that your first time being on stage, or had you done other stuff?
No. I did I've been doing stand up.
Yeah.
Probably when I met you first, for about 5 years.
Yeah.
But that was the first time, and you get in your head with ideas or intellectual kind of ambitions with stand-up, comparing yourself to people you want to be or influences that you want to try and emulate. And,
Tom Price.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. The cricketer, I mean.
Yeah, and anyway, I remember just feeling like I was having fun, and I felt free and stupid and silly, and I guess you could go back to the ancient Greeks and talk about mask work and all that. Like there is something about it, Dumbo's feather and all that. But I think you do what works for you, and even I don't know. I've been doing this now 11 years as a job. I haven't been on stage without I've still got I still wear the same wig I bought 11 years ago.
So how would it feel to go on stage? Or when you do something like Taskmaster, where it's you, right?
Yeah.
Does that feel very exposing, having effectively hidden behind wig and teeth?
No, not exposing. I mean, I guess sometimes when if you're on something like that purely as yourself, I think what I have to do is kind of remind myself that you got to perform.
Yeah.
That you got to do something.
Yeah.
Whereas what I like about putting on stuff is that it's almost like that's why you're up there.
Yeah.
Like you can't be looking stupid.
Yeah.
With a gob full of fake teeth and this crap monk's wig, and not acting like, well, what are you doing up there with that? Whereas I think just me getting up there, I've just always, and again, I did it for 5 years.
Yeah.
I was just like, what have I got to say? What are my opinions on things? I don't know. And the joke writing is, I don't know. It's. I try not to think about it too much, but to go back to your point about, keeping it innocent, I still even, I go back on tour soon, and there's still this thing of you're walking out in front of however many people in a place maybe you've never been before, and you look like this, like that hasn't gone away.
Yeah.
That stupidness of going, fuck me, what? Like that, I haven't got used to that yet.
No.
And that does still give me I do always think, like, if this all ends tomorrow, it still makes me laugh, the idea of going, and look what you did last week in Cardiff, and you look like that.
There's always a comfort in stand-up thinking the joke's on the audience. Like, I often feel like that when I was doing stand-up, doing new material or whatever. Just before I went on stage, I feel like God, these idiots who are here. I don't know. Something about me would always be like, "Ooh, I can't believe they've come to watch me do this." Morons. Do you know what I mean? It's a protection device. I don't really think they're morons, but you're protecting yourself, I think.
Yeah.
Or giving yourself the freedom to do what you want to do.
My thinking is they're here now. Like, we're here now. Something that's happened now.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
God knows how they've ended up here.
Yeah.
But
as a compere, I find out. Train was driven here. No,
yeah, but you can ask how they got there.
Yeah. How long have they been together? No, but it's true. You do. You're right. You see that at the sort of moment everyone's come together in that room. And
I think, and things like, I talk to mates about this, and it is true, and I hope audiences, and I think this is a good thing. I do think about, and it's what gears me up. Stood on the side stage before I go on.
Yeah,
there's some people have got babysitters. Some people have covered all that stuff.
Yeah,
yes. The work, what's going on in their lives. Your job for an hour and 15, or let's call it an hour.
Yeah. Toilet breaks, hour and a half.
Yeah, I always start with the toilet break. Look, I know you've had an interval, but there must be someone in here who has misjudged it. So let's have 5 minutes. Let's just
see you at 5. Cheers, guys.
And there will always be one person that I bet is like, brilliant. Yeah.
As your audience gets older,
I think I've got a good span of. I don't know how you felt about this. I love like a 65-year-old.
Yeah.
Front row.
Oh,
because they've seen it. They're not going to laugh. They're just like, look.
You can say what you like to them, about them, in front of them.
They don't give a toss.
No, I completely agree.
And I admire that they're there.
Yeah. Whereas someone who's, I don't know, 30 or 25 or whatever, might have a sense of status.
Well, I die on my. I don't do them anymore, but I used to die on my arse at student gigs.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Imagine me walking on them. They're like they want someone cool. They want someone to represent them, or they want someone who can maybe their idea of what a stand-up is. Maybe like.
I always did very well at the student gigs, of course, because of what you've just described.
Well, imagine.
No, I didn't. I remember the last one I did. I was 36, and I realised I was twice their age. And I came off stage and I'm never doing this again.
I was doing it when I was 25, and I think that was even worse in that they were like, good God, you're not too far off our age.
Yeah.
And you're this?
Yeah. Is this what the future is? That's what you were, John Kearns, a warning from the future.
Yeah.
All right, look, let's go into 2013 now, John, and see what else we can find.
2013.
Again. Of course, there's some music there.
Music. I'm buying music.
Yeah. We've got a Vicks warm mist humidifier, $46.99, bought on the 11th of July, 2013. Everyone loves a humidifier in the height of summer.
Have I bought the wrong thing?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I just couldn't. What is that?
Well, I've just moved it. I know.
Maybe a cold. Often they're quite good if you had a cold, I suppose. That's
I'm living in a flat, and my bedroom looks over the A1.
Oh, yeah.
I can't open my window properly.
No.
And I think I've bought that because maybe I've got an issue drying clothes.
Right.
And also I'm worried about the air condition in my bedroom.
Yeah. That is...
Yeah. It's on Archway Road.
Oh, right.
Opposite Highgate Tube.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I'm on the A1.
Stan Stanley used to live there. Do you remember the comedian Stan Stanley? Do you know Stan?
Well, the shop I lived above was Stanton's.
Oh my God!
So for a second I was like, "What
is that by the Electric Boogaloo?" We're just getting to London chat here, guys.
A stone's throw from the Boogaloo.
Oh yeah, lovely. 3rd of January 2013. A new year, a new you. You've bought the inflatable bull riding cowboy costume.
Wow, that's how I opened my first Edinburgh show.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
so I bought that. Well, so it's an inflatable. It's like one of those, one of those inflatable things that it looks like you're riding a horse.
Yeah.
So I bought it to do a kids show, and this kids show was at the Soho Theatre.
Right.
It's about 11 o'clock Saturday morning, and at about 10:30 I'm trying to inflate this thing, and it's not inflating. And it's a kids show, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I'm just gonna have to ditch this. But then I'm like, well, it's quite funny if I just walk on with a completely deflated horse. And I'm wearing the wig. I've got these teeth in, and I walk on, and I've got this just deflated horse, and it's just people listening to this now, if you can picture that. So kids, I think the kids are going, Christ Almighty! Like the kids are really like, Jesus.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of these things where, and again, I'm sure it was the same with yourself. A lot of your stand-up is coming from mistakes, is coming from things where you've just basically got away with it.
And then you've got to go and try stuff.
Yeah, and you step away and you go, hang on, I've got something there.
So, even if it is. I love the high art of creation and making good art.
It's mistakes.
But I've got a deflated horse. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Well, that was it. Like, and it's funny actually. You picking that because I'm thinking, I'm walking away from that kids show, and I'm like, there's something very funny about that. And I opened my opening. The opening of my debut Edinburgh show was coming on stage, wearing this inflatable, deflated horse. And I think it came with an inflatable cowboy hat, which obviously I deflated. And that was the beginning of that show.
And how did that show do? That was the one that... Was that newcomer that year?
I won Best Newcomer at that year, 2013.
And of course, the following year, you won the Comedy Award, and you are famously the only person who's gone from newcomer to the main award, winning them both. That's quite cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And there was a few years where you're like, oh, because I was 27 when all that happened, and I was quite young.
Yeah.
And there is a part of you that's like, oh, will it get better than that?
No.
And
well, disappointment management, very important.
Well, I'm kind of quite happy with that,
Yeah. And you've got Amazon to thank. If they'd sold you a really good horse that inflated, it wouldn't have been as fun.
True. Well, yeah. So, do you know that there's like a little fan in them? That's how these things work. And it just never worked.
Yeah. I mean, they could almost write a review on here in your account. The
never
fan never worked. Launched my entire career.
5 stars.
5 stars, exactly. Never worked 5 stars.
Never worked.
Couldn't put it better myself. All right, good. So there we are. There's the beginning of everything now. I love it.
Interesting.
I know.
January.
Yeah. January the 2nd as well. It's like a new year. Here you go. The Denman D6 shampoo and massage hairbrush. I prefer the D5, but that's your choice.
Oh, is that circular?
Yep.
Yeah, so I went to this hairdresser once, and it was in Wimbledon, and he's cutting my hair, and then he whispers in my ear, I can cut your hair for cheaper at my house.
That's a chat-up line.
Well, so I feel bizarre that I did, but I went to...
What, now? Does he stop the haircut halfway through?
Well, like they hairdressers hire, barbers hire the space.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, he said, I specialise in quiffs. I had a quiff at the time. And, again, this all sounds like, the guy's going to murder me.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to you now thinking, I still went.
But you'll be murdered looking like Morrissey.
Yeah, I look fantastic.
Great way to die.
I rock up at his house. He wasn't joking. He had a cabinet that had every single Brill cream from when Brill cream was invented.
Wow.
Yep. He had a barber chair in his house. He had, proper memorabilia.
Yeah.
It was an extraordinary cut, actually. I think I went twice, and then you start thinking, God, I don't know what's happening here.
It feels illicit.
Well, he was filming my head.
Yeah.
And then he said he was sending it to mates.
Yeah. Yeah. He was bagging up the hair. Is that normal? The hair's not going in a bin, it's going in a parcel.
But he had the stuff.
Yeah.
He worked in...
serial killers have the stuff. They're still serial killers.
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff.
That is very...
Famously have stuff.
I think barbers haven't really recovered sort of optics-wise from Sweeney Todd, and that doesn't help. That feels...
I don't think I told anyone either. So no
Any
one would have
line
known
of
where I
work.
was.
Any line of work where someone just leans forward to you and goes, I can do this in my house.
Yeah.
Imagine if a doctor, you know what I mean?
But I did
You're
it.
being examined.
I did it.
We could carry this on at my house.
Why did I do it? Anyway, he recommended this brush.
Right.
And
The Denman D6.
for the listener, it was a circular comb that would fit in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
And the handle goes over your 4 fingers.
Yeah.
And so, imagine swishing that through your hair.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thinking you're Elvis or Jimmy Dean or something.
You'd do a face.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your hair brushing face? Where'd you? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
For the listeners, what am I doing there? It's like
it's a croon thing.
Croon,
yeah. It's because I don't get to brush my hair anymore. I miss that. I should still do it, but just without the hair. That's right. We're talking about the face you pull when you brush your hair. Welcome to My Mate Bought a Toaster. All right then. Elsewhere in 2013, I'm enjoying this far too much. Paddington completes a Paddington suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. When did I buy that?
November 2013. So late November. So we're inching towards deploying the Christmas excuse if you want it. It's there for you if you want the Christmas excuse.
I'm not going to use the Christmas excuse because I used.
Oh, it's a DVD. It's a DVD.
It is a DVD.
It's a DVD.
It is a DVD.
Yeah.
I used the Paddington case. It's like a DVD's in a suitcase.
Yeah.
I used that in my second stand-up show.
Ah.
And also, the end of my second stand-up show was Paddington Bear said never trust anyone who doesn't have a sandwich under their hat. And the end of my second show was I had a sandwich under my wig. And that was my reveal. So if you if you're listening to this, wanted to get into comedy and maybe you want to win an Edinburgh Comedy Award, just have a sandwich under your hat or wig.
It's a masterclass. Any kind of snack anywhere near your head.
My son, only the other day, was walking around with that briefcase.
Oh.
But it doesn't have a latch, so everything he was putting in it was falling out.
Okay.
And,
so he's not going to travel with that case, which is fine.
No.
But did you want? I mean, how old is he?
2.5.
Okay, a bit young to put that on him, but you could eventually say that's that suitcase. That was a moment in my life. You know what I mean? You give him the whole moment in my life thing.
Went to Australia, that suitcase. This suitcase, again, for anyone trying to picture it, is about the size of a hardback novel.
Yeah, wow.
So you can't get a huge amount in it.
Yeah, you're taking that on the plane with you. That's not going in the hold. That's coming in with you. All right, that's Paddington, the complete. How many episodes do you think of Paddington? Not the film, of course. We're talking here about the actual cartoon, the animation. How many episodes do you reckon there are? I can see. I want
to say 35.
No. You want to go higher than that. 5 hours and 40 minutes of Paddington.
Blimey.
56 episodes.
Blimey. And this is the old school one.
Yeah.
The really beautiful kind of black and white animation, 2D.
That's right. Yeah,
but then Paddington is the full-on 3D puppet.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, beautiful. From a platform game to a 3D game. It's a wonderful thing. All right, 2014 now, John Kearns. 16 orders. Again, lots of music. FIFA 15 you've got there. £42.
I didn't even play that.
No, that happens a lot. We see that a lot. People buying these computer games because they want the escape of it. They want to throw themselves into that world.
But I'm not a computer. I wasn't allowed really computer games as a kid.
Well, we started the show with you buying a screen to play computer games in your room.
I know, but I didn't play. I didn't really. It's just not in my blood. It's just not in my bones.
But you try.
I tried a little
that's
bit.
Weird because I'm exactly the same.
But it didn't happen. It just didn't click, didn't catch.
I get Call of Duty. I get quite good at it almost by accident. And then something in my brain gets a bit flustered. I don't really like being shot. I get a bit scared. You know what I mean? It's a bit too much. And I don't get into it.
It's just not me.
No. I want to, though. That's the point. I want to throw myself in something.
The word that escapism.
Yes.
When I see people and what they get from it.
Yeah.
I am like, God, I'd love something like that in my life.
Are the voices going to go away if I'm playing FIFA? Because am I going to, you know what I mean? Are the gremlins going to be, are they going to give me half an hour off worrying about fucking podcasts?
That is how I think.
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. That's what I think. And I think I'm going to play that game. I'm going to play Gears of War.
Are your kids into, do they have stuff?
Yeah, my eldest is playing with my old Xbox. He's used it now more he's just got into it about 2 or 3 months ago. He's probably played on it more than I have in 10 years, in 3 months.
Well, it's worth it.
It's not a lot. I mean, exactly.
I'll keep hold of the PS3.
Oh yeah, no, do. And it's fine. I'm fine with him doing it. He plays with his mates. He's got the headphones. You know what I mean?
So they're chatting away.
Yeah, playing Fortnite. Kid behind you, look out! Like he loves it.
Yeah, I think. I'll let my kid do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said when he first started doing it, I was like, I'm going to play that with you. It'll be like a real bonding thing.
Yeah.
Did about 3 minutes, got a bit flustered, went and checked Instagram.
Got scared. Yeah.
Got scared. Is there a support group for people who are scared of computer games?
There should be. There must be, actually.
Anna Clark Diaries, End of the Party, Andrew Walmsley. So a bit of politics here as well. A little bit of politics. Matthew Paris, Chance Witness, An Outsider's Life in Politics.
Wow. This is me.
Bit of a Tory here, mate. It's quite a lot of Tories.
This is me.
This page.
This is me trying to reach back, I think, to my old job.
Yeah.
I've quit my job in 2013.
Yeah, okay.
And I think I'm missing it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of realising what I had and how interesting it was.
Yes.
So I'm trying to buy... Yeah.
Bearing in mind how you described the job earlier in the episode today, shouldn't the book have been How to Take 30 Kids to the Toilet? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm writing that.
You're now sort of this sort of like, with hindsight going, I was in the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah.
But at the time, it's like, I'm in the Houses of Parliament.
Of course it will, yeah.
Why do we do that? It's so annoying.
Well, no, I think I was quite good at, going, this is a pretty decent place to work. It was more, I just didn't have an hour and 15 of chat about a medieval hall to a group of 8-year-old kids that couldn't give a monkey's.
I mean, how you pad that is...
I don't know how. I still think about it. That's what makes, doing a stand-up show piss easy.
Yeah. I know a few people who've done tour stuff. I used to work at Madame Tussauds.
Right.
And then doing stand-up is a doddle compared to that.
Do they do tours?
At Tussauds, yeah, they used to do tours there. Yeah.
What you just say who it is?
I've told the story before on the show. I got asked to pretend to be a sculptor. So
of the models?
Yeah. So I was in a room at Madame Tussauds, about 4 of us actors.
God.
And we were all finishing off David Beckham's head in clay. This is 2002, peak Beckham, right? And all these tourists.
So the group walk in and you're just there?
So hi there. Oh, hi. Sorry, I'm just finishing off David Beckham. So this is how we do it. And I'll explain. They get pictures with me. Loads of people all around the world have got a picture with the guy from Madame Tussauds, c'est moi. And then they would go, and about 3 minutes later, the next group would come through.
I did something similar at the Science Museum. I had to act as a paleontologist.
Oh, God, it's like Andy's Big Dinosaur Adventure.
And kids ran in.
Yeah.
There was a massive glorified sandpit.
Yeah.
It was in the grounds where they usually have the ice rink now.
Yes.
So it was a big sandpit.
Right.
And underneath were buried dinosaur bones.
Yeah.
Kids ran in with their brushes, their goggles.
Oh.
They brush away the sand.
Yeah.
You come over in your shorts. Go in. What you found here is, I don't know, shin bone or whatever.
Amazing.
They draw it. They go into the next room where they're told what they found. And then as they're in the next room, you've got a broom. You put in the sand back on it. The next group come in.
That is... Why am I finding that strangely bleak? That is the perfect analogy of the dreams of childhood.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If a kid had just looked through the curtain and seen me sweeping sand over the bone, they think they've just discovered a dinosaur bone.
Yeah.
And I'm there just sweeping sand going, let's get the next kid in and find it.
Kids have got to learn life is futile. I'd bring them back out and show them. I've reburied it, guys.
Yeah. You know that thing where I pretended I knew, like, my God, you found it? Watch what I do to this kid. And they just all stand in a line. I get all, like, over the course of the day, they just all watch one by one.
Amazing. Yeah. They'd come home much better people. All right, John, we keep going. We plough on. Again, lovely cable action here, 17th of September 2016. You've got a USB to 3-metre cable for a printer.
Blimey.
Oh, it's lovely stuff, though, isn't it? You got a charger for an
The
Apple
internet, that was an issue. The internet that we had in that flat,
Oh, yeah.
we shared with the flat upstairs.
Right.
But the printer went off the Wi-Fi, off the internet.
Okay.
And it wasn't exactly stable.
Yeah.
So there were issues where if I wanted to print something off,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ceiling and I'm like, fucking hell, what's happening up there?
Yeah. What are you doing? What? I don't want to know what you're doing.
Why didn't I just get in there?
Just stop doing that.
These decisions.
Yeah, sharing Wi-Fi is not a good way to go.
No,
I would
no.
not recommend it. 21st of March 2016, the leather weightlifting gloves, wrist supports. You've got some weightlifting gloves here. It makes sense.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could see-
Well, yeah, this is personal trainer time.
Mm-hmm.
And, goodness, it's quite embarrassing to think that I wore gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it. I mean, this is when I'm right in the mix of it, and my personal trainer's going, I've got soft hands.
Mm.
And I don't know, it's hurting me. So he's saying, buy gloves. I'm like, yeah, I'll buy gloves.
Of course.
The idea of me went, good Lord.
It's just very village people to turn up at a gym and put those little leather glovettes on, isn't it? It just feels...
Well, what are you lifting?
And just, you do. You put the gloves on, get some flour.
Chalk, bit of chalk.
Or chalk if that's easier.
Flour.
Get flour if you've got that. Whatever's available.
I would have brought flour, I think.
And then you go and pick something up and put it back down again. Stupid.
Oh, God, imagine. I mean, the idea that someone would have looked across at me wearing gloves, just going like, wonder what he's about to lift.
And then it's like 2 kilograms.
Like, what that? How soft is this guy's hand? Is he a pianist or something?
The problem I've got with doing weights in the gym is I just can't. The first thing that occurs to me is everyone's just fighting gravity, which I find is, again, futile. All you're doing is picking things up and putting things down again. That sticks in my head. Secondly, there's the face I pull when I do weights. So I do weights. I do dumbbells. I don't have gloves, but I'm tempted. But the face I pull when I do weights is unbelievable, to the point where I have to draw the curtains because I've got neighbours on the other side who will see me. And I've seen them once or twice walk past.
Are you doing it in your house?
Yeah, I do it upstairs. I hide myself away, and I'm like, because I can't lift something up unless I'm going horrendous.
Yeah.
And it's not even that heavy or that hard. It just automatically, like I'm a tongue guy. If I'm thinking, the tongue comes out. Facially, this overreacts to everything.
No, I know what you mean. And in this gym that I was at, there's massive mirrors.
Yeah. Oh
so
no.
There's a lot of people looking around and all this, but I did get over it because I thought if someone sees me putting that kind of face, they're like,
stay away.
Good Lord, what's he lifting? And then they look, and they're like, the face of the gloves?
That's just him getting up.
That's just the bar.
So do you not do that anymore? Is that a thing? That was just a phase?
I had a personal trainer for about 2 years.
They're expensive personal trainers.
Well, he just ran out of steam. Then he started asking to borrow money off me.
Right. Did he lean into your ear and say, I can do this at home? I can spot you.
I did follow him. I did switch gym. He went to another gym and I did follow him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But then, I think he might have got into drugs.
Okay.
He was asking for money at like weird times of night.
Yeah.
And then
That's not flour on his gloves, is it?
No, I think, he got into it. And I kind of ghosted him, just ran off.
With your gloves on, it's fine. All right, good. Let's move on now. Okay, what we're going to do is skip on ahead a little bit, John. Here on My Mate Bought a Toast, we have got 2022 now, so more recently.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 50 orders over the year. Wow. We've got an Anchor power bank. Love that. Love a power bank.
Yeah, Anchor are good.
Yeah, very good. Yorkie raisin and biscuit chocolate bar. You got a pack of 24 Yorkies. 31st of January 2022. Do you like a Yorkie?
Wait.
Are you 10?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. So, dear me, you've thrown me here. Right.
Well, no, you've thrown you. I mean, you've thrown yourself.
I've only got myself to blame.
Yeah.
I went through a phase where on a WhatsApp group, I'd kind of I'd have to time it well.
Yeah.
I'd just innocently say, the one chap in particular, I'd be like, Ian, what's like favourite chocolate bar?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I don't know really. I'm like, no, go on, no. It's boring. It's Monday morning. Let's get the ball rolling in here. You're in the newsagent. What are you going for? What's your weapon of choice?
Yeah.
And I think he was like, well, I look after myself, but a rare treat. Yorkie, biscuit raisin.
Yep.
I would then send him a pack of 24, screen grab it all and go, there you go, mate, enjoy. And then he'd just hate that because he'd be like, I don't want it. I'd be like, no, nice, it's good. And the issue was, so I think you might find, I ordered it, it said it was collected.
Yeah.
I went, did you get them? He said no. I said, well,
Right.
what are you on about? Someone's picked them up. He went downstairs and he said, they're not here. And I went, you're lying to me, they are there. He said they're not. And he was like, ha, ha, ha. I didn't want them anyway. Someone's nicked them. Good,
Yeah.
So I just ordered them again. He's looking at me going, this is insane. Why are you spending all this money on chocolate bars? But I'm finding it, my persona during all this is...
It's just getting funnier.
I'm just going, don't you worry. I want you to have these. You said it was your favourite, and I just want to help a mate out.
You're doing this on the WhatsApp
Well,
group.
I don't know how much I don't know how much these are costing me a pop, but
But it's lovely.
I don't
15 quid. About 15 quid.
And I don't think they're ever turning up, by the way. Oh dear. I know what I did that with someone else. I was like, but that's what I mean. You leave it a month, so they're not thinking you're going to send them stuff. I mean, but again, as I'm saying it, I'm like, they just win. I'm out of pocket here.
Yeah, no, but you're not, because that's.
It just made me laugh that he's got. And then I remember I just wanted like his girlfriend at the time to be like, "Why have you got 28 Yorkies? Like, are you into that? Like, do you like Yorkie?"
And then you can just deny all knowledge.
Oh, I say I
do
don't. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or he has to explain that I've bought them for him. She's like, "Why?" I don't know. It made me laugh. It made me laugh that because he's quite paleo diet. He does like. He knows how much fat he's got.
Oh.
So the idea of like maybe once 6 months he has a chocolate bar.
So you've given him a sort of lifetime supply of Yorkies.
Yeah.
15
Well,
quid.
given someone, he didn't get them. There's someone running round.
Well, hopefully a neighbour thinks that he's got a problem.
It actually transpired that he had a bigger problem and people was nicking his post.
Oh.
So,
What?
in a way, whoever was nicking his post
that is the worst.
would have opened it up and gone, the fuck has he bought 28 Yorkie bars for? Also, they're not even like the nice ones. Raisins and biscuit. And then, if they nicked it again, there's another box. They're like, who fucking lives up there?
It's quite clever. Just look for your neighbour who's getting fat.
Yeah. Or like...
Got him.
Or just chucking out loads of Yorkie bars. Oh, man. Out 15 quid.
Worth doing. That's Poirot-esque, I think. That's beautiful.
Might have been the first food I bought off Amazon, that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Do you have many people on here who've bought food?
Yeah, but sometimes we get full shops. I'm like, I'm not going into the big shop.
It doesn't feel right, though.
No, it's not right. It's not right. I
don't know why it doesn't feel right.
No, Amazon is for buying things like on the 1st of April 2022, the inflatable walking stick and Zimmer frame.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was Taskmaster.
Ah, okay.
That was for a task.
Oh, right, okay.
What was the task? I think it was the thing with like at the end of you filming all your tasks, you do it for 5 days.
Yeah. Is that all it is? Just 5 days, Taskmaster?
It's a 10-day job, Taskmaster.
Oh, mate.
Incredibly. God. But anyway, you're about to go home, and you go, well, there we go. I've done all my tasks. And Alex Horn walks in, hands you a bit of paper, and it's the 10 prize tasks that you have to do. So it's right at the end of you doing your tasks, and you go, right. And they haunt you.
Yeah.
And the one that haunted me, which was where I bought the inflatable Zimmer frame and walking stick, was, I think, the thing you'd most bring to a fancy dress party or something.
Why?
And God, why did I buy an inflatable? I think the idea was that I thought you could just pretend you were an old version of anyone. Like anyone would ask you who you were, and you'd be like, "Well, I'm an old version of blah blah blah," because you've got an inflatable.
You in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Harry Styles.
Yeah.
In 2080.
Yeah. Walking stick Zimmer frame.
That's really smart.
Also, I think I've ordered both there because I'm thinking which would be the funnier one. Again, inflatable stuff.
What you've got a thing for inflatable stuff. Again, I like my guests on the show just to find these big questions about themselves. Do you know what I mean? You'd always got to know.
Remember inflatable furniture? That was quite a big thing in the
yeah,
in the 90s.
Absolutely. I mean, inflatable mattresses as well.
Yeah.
Just stupid.
Where's it gone? Where's that fashion gone?
Well,
air.
Yeah, it's gone into thin air, thank God. It's just ridiculous.
Inflatable furniture.
Basically sitting on a tyre. Really stupid. The money we're saving on springs. Tell you what, and they charge you the same. They
are charging. It'll always be charged the same.
Oh, it's full of thin air. Right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to find the last few things you've bought, John, to finish off today's episode, just to sort of see where you're at.
Oh, I think. The last.
To see where you're at in your life now, right?
This is fascinating. This.
Any conclusions on yourself before we finish? Anything you want to sort of?
Do you know what maybe a bit earnestly here.
Oh no, please! I love a bit of earnest. If you want to cry, that's absolutely great.
Just break down.
Yeah.
I used to love. As we speak, the website Pitchfork has gone. It's been.
Describe what Pitchfork was then.
Album reviews.
Yeah.
They were kind of famous for their, 9.2, their decimal point of, it's grading art madness, but a lot of really good music writing, and especially I want to say, well, those years you were talking about there, late 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. I'm reading Pitchfork a lot, and I'm buying a lot of music where I'm just a few clicks. I'm like, I don't know, and I wouldn't listen to anything.
Yeah,
I'd order it, and my point being, I'm sat here. You're looking through these things, and you're going, "There's a lot of music," and I do have still all my old CDs, and I did used to buy a ton load of music.
Yeah.
After a week at work, I'd get them ordered on the Friday, and Saturday morning would be going through 3 or 4 albums.
Yeah.
And I just don't do it anymore.
You don't do it anymore.
And you'd flick through the artwork.
I know. There'd be writing in it, often in the artwork as well. There'd be a story about how the album came about or whatever. There'd be stuff you could read while you listen to it. You'd take your time with it.
But this isn't ancient history. No, this isn't, this is 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's funny, you going through that, I'm like, even my favourite music I like now, would I even buy a vinyl?
No.
I'd like to think I would, but the reality is I probably wouldn't.
Why would you go and get the vinyl out of the cupboard off the shelf, put it on, when you can just shout, Alexa?
Well, all that, yeah.
I mean, that's the problem.
When
I said, are there any conclusions? I really wanted you to be like a deep personality seam had shifted, like a continental plate inside you. I wasn't expecting you to say, I miss CDs. But that's great,
Well, I'll
take the win.
CDs.
I'll take the win. Yeah, that's fine. Look, the last couple of things you bought, I mean, you can tell a kid's arrived. One of these is for the kid, one of these is for John.
Yeah.
You bought Thomas and Friends Toy Train, and you bought The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. Please tell me you're giving the 2.5-year-old The Wasteland. He's got to learn. Good night. Sleep well.
Boy.
April's the cruelest month. April's the hardest month.
God.
In the mountains there I feel free. Sleep well, darling.
That's good.
Oh, I love The Wasteland. I studied The Wasteland.
Well,
brilliant.
I'm saying this now on a podcast.
Mm.
It's going to haunt me, I think, me saying this.
Go on.
I have a vague... I did a gig a few years ago for John Luke Roberts, where he gives you a text, and the whole point of the gig is you do a spot, and it has to be based on what he's given you.
Okay.
Book.
Yeah.
This was a book. I don't know. It was a Paris Review, an interview with an artist, or whatever it was. Anyway.
Yeah.
And I've always actually felt that that's a good, to get ideas for comedy and stand-up.
Yeah.
My route is art. Basically, my reach is a lot less than my ambition. I am extremely high. It completely falters. And that's usually, the remnants of that is my stand-up shows.
You don't seem to have much fear.
No, not at all. Because, not with ambition, not with trying, not with thinking.
But artistically, you just try stuff. You don't seem to be scared of failure.
In my stand-up, I don't. I think
it's good. That's good.
As I've got a bit older, I'm thinking other mediums, like maybe script writing or those are things I'd like to get better at, and they're very, very difficult, of course.
It's quite hard.
But so I'm into Christ. I was reading about modernist literature.
Yeah, for the John Luke Roberts gig, or is this something else?
No, this was something else.
Oh, right, okay.
And the whole modernist movement was form over content, and anyway, I was getting into it, and I was thinking, if I immerse myself in stuff, I'm not just interested what I will then write. So I bought a
Thomas the Tank Engine
200 page facsimile of The Wasteland with notes by Ezra Pound.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And I'll say my partner found it, and she went, "Tell me you haven't bought this."
Library. It's from a library.
And I said, "No, I've just taken it out from the shed because we've just moved and the books are down in the shed."
Right. Okay.
But I had just bought it
because it's not cheap, and it's enormous.
It's probably about 30 quid. Yeah, it's very expensive. It's an expensive book. For
yeah.
And also, I know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to read the introduction. And I'm going to end the introduction, close the book, and go, I haven't got a sausage. What just happened there?
But
not what I've read. What happened?
Yeah. The good thing is, think how extra smug you're going to be when you go to that charity shop.
No.
Waltz in with The Wasteland.
No, I hold on to these kind of books for about a decade.
The Wasteland, guys, dropping it off.
A decade.
I learned it. I've read it. I don't need it anymore.
I hold on to these books because I know I'm like this. It has to give me something.
I like that we've started this episode with the the minutiae of a gold-plated HDMI cable, and we've ended it with the timeless work of TS Eliot.
Well, let's end it more on the timeless work of
Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah.
So my son loves Thomas, and obviously you can buy the trains.
Yeah.
And he keeps on. He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But he does keep talking about diesel.
Right.
He hasn't got diesel.
Right.
And I was looking at him yesterday. Yeah. Yes. And I thought, I'm going to buy you diesel.
Yeah.
I just completely out of nothing.
Yeah.
He was talking about diesel. He's like, "Where's diesel?" I'm like, "He's never had diesel."
Oh.
It's driving me mad. He's got about 20 others that I bought him.
Yeah.
Also, I bought, you might see further down last year, I bought Percy. But you can get different types. And I didn't like
no, because then you get one that's big or
that's it.
More cartoony.
And one of them has the face I didn't like.
Yeah.
So I didn't give it to him.
Yeah. So you've got to be consistent in your trains.
I got him another Percy.
Right. Has he had diesel? Has diesel been given to him?
No, I think it arrives today.
You know what you can do? When he gets diesel, you slip off and read The Wasteland. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, this book is massive, also, and it is mad. This book is mad.
I would say go and see John Kearns. He's on tour right now. Get tickets as soon as possible because the next tour is going to be fucking depressing if it's based on TS Eliot's The Wasteland.
I genuinely am thinking of calling it Wasteland.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of ideas. I'm like, because I don't know what's next. So I'm like, we got to have another show maybe.
Yeah,
but
I like the idea of reading it without the specific intention of being inspired by it. Do you know what I mean? You just read it and it becomes sort of hinterland in the back of your brain. Then you start doing new stuff.
I do mean that. Like, where do you find inspiration in anything? You got to kind of take 2 steps away from the thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it's good to go to an art gallery or buy these completely ridiculous tomes of literature.
And then, in your next show... it does something.
But it also makes you very insignificant.
Yes.
And then... So, for example, again, like talking about taskmasters, say, one of the prize tasks, which probably would pop up on that list, is there something you can't throw away, like you just can never throw away? And I picked Ulysses because whenever I move house, I always bring it with me.
Yeah, because you're going to do it one day.
There's a part of me that I've bought the guides to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm skirting around it. I'm like, there's got to be a way of doing it.
James Joyce is living rent-free on my to-be-read list, and I'm never going to read it.
I'm never going to read
I'm
it.
full of intent.
But I admire in anyone the ambition.
Yeah,
I go, you know what? You're at least trying.
Yeah, I like also as a not mundane, but just like a really long-term ambition. like my longest term but easily achievable ambition, which I'm never going to do, is read War and Peace.
Yeah,
but it's serious to me, that ambition.
But you didn't know that was coming up. You just quoted Wasteland.
A bit of it. John Robbins was on talking about
Larkin.
Yeah,
he loves Larkin.
And I thought I liked Larkin, so I had a little go, did a bit, banged out a bit of This Be the Verse.
No, he's
John Robbins.
He's a unit when it comes to Larkin.
I nipped out for a week, came back, and he was still going. Ironically, I was groping back to the sofa after a piss. Look.
Oh, very good.
I was very good. I was pleased with that.
That was really good.
Go and see John Kearns. The next tour, there's going to be I don't know, like a deflated Ezra Pound. I don't know. Who knows?
It's either about Thomas the Tank Engine or the Wasteland.
Who knows?
Bit of both.
John, the tour is happening. What's going on with that? This episode, I think, is going to be out in the next few weeks. So we're recording this in January 2024. So
I'm on tour around about till June.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of. I did 90 dates last year.
Yeah.
This is very much a lap of. I was going to say honour there, but
dishonour.
I'd kind of say it's just a lap, really.
It's just another lap.
Where people are like, oh, he's doing another lap. Basically, imagine you've just finished the race, but the guy keeps running for another lap. Like, people are happy for you, but maybe the ticket sales aren't as strong as like the actual race. And it's not the people's fault. They just bought tickets for the race.
I love the idea of a lap of honour to an empty stadium, and they've gone. What they paid for has happened, and now they're leaving.
And you can't blame them for that.
No, exactly.
Because they thought,
you go. Yeah,
they thought they'd bought tickets for it. So, if you want to come along, if you didn't, have there were a lot of opportunities last year to see it. So
yeah, it's a slightly passive-aggressive tour.
I'm quite suspicious, actually, of people that have bought tickets now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you had 3 maybe chances to see this, and on the 4th you went, oh, fuck it, let's go. So, there's a lot of that happening.
Okay, good.
But
slightly angry with your audience, I appreciate that.
I think I'm going to be very suspicious of the audiences of the 2024, but grateful the same.
Of course. John, we can find you on, Instagram and all that business, right? That's easy to do.
I'm on @JohnsFurCoat on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
JohnKearnsComedy.com. My mate bought JohnKearns.com. We both forgot that a couple of years ago. Need to speak to him. He's a plumber in Balham. But anyway, yeah, socials I'm not strong on. Yeah. I believe fundamentally in the art of live. Financially, that is a not fantastic decision.
Like this video, if you agree.
Only now do I remember there are videos.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
sorry,
forgot that.
Forgot to mention that. Yeah. God, do you want to change and go again?
Do you know what? I would love to watch that footage because that is me at, I don't know how long we've been going, 59 minutes?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's me realising I was being filmed.
I love it. John Kearns, thank you very much for coming on My Mate Bought a Toaster.
Thank you very much.
It's my mate.